We have an interesting new conversation with Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx speaking to Guitar World, in which he reveals that the band had no idea that Mick Mars was going to have to quit the group, as he characterizes it. Now, of course, Mick Mars asserts, and as reflected in his statement, that he merely retired from touring, and in fact that he would be able to perform at one-off gigs and also with writing songs in the studio. He says that there were efforts to reduce his share in the band, which is one of the things that ultimately led to that lawsuit that is ongoing and working its way back and forth right now and probably won't be resolved for a while. But it comes down to a real difference of opinions, with Mick Mars, again, being very clear from day one that he was not quitting the band. He's just not able to tour extensively because of his years-long battle with ankylosing spondylitis, which leaves him in near constant pain. So now you have this new conversation with Nikki Sixx, and he says that all of that really came as a surprise to them. And in my opinion, I got to say that I wasn't surprised when he retired from touring, and I don't know him, and I've never met Mick Mars. But anyone who's followed Motley Crue has been aware of this condition he has battled for many years. So here is what Nikki Sixx had to say. I thought his comments were really interesting about this because it really underscores the difference in both parties' perspectives on how the situation played out. Now, Mick Mars, in a conversation with Rolling Stone several weeks ago, accused Motley Crue of trying to take away his legacy through these efforts to reduce his share in the band. Remember, whether or not he is on tour with the group is separate from Mick Mars' role as a shareholder in the group. So this is what Nikki Sixx had to say in conversation with Guitar World. He was asked about bringing guitar virtuoso John 5 into the group, in which he said, "We never saw it coming that Mick wasn't going to be able to tour and was going to have to quit the band in the middle, not even the middle of a huge tour. We had to ask ourselves, do we want to let the fans down? Do we want to let Live Nation down? Do we want to let Def Leppard down? Do we want to let ourselves down because an original member of our band can't tour anymore? We had to take a deep, deep look at what we were going to do." Now, it's really interesting that Nikki Sixx characterizes things this way when he goes, "We never saw it coming that Mick wasn't going to be able to tour and was going to have to quit the band in the middle, not even the middle of a huge tour." When anyone can recall the announcement of the stadium tour, they finished up that tour. Mick Mars did every date on that tour, and then they came around later and said, hey, we're going to announce some additional shows. And so what really happened is they went and did another tour, and they're just counting it all as one now. That's what it looks like to me. He continued in this conversation, in regard to John knowing all the members of the band and me having this relationship with him and writing and his friends, and even being in the studio with him writing and stuff with the band for The Dirt, it felt like a no-brainer in a horrible situation. Something we did not ask for or want. And then it was kind of obvious. It was this, if there was the guy, John was the guy, which I do agree with him on that. John 5 is just such a monster on the guitar. Like I said, we didn't choose this, but since we had to be put in this position, we're very happy with where we're at for now. He says, it's like having your little brother right by you on the stage. John has the ability to play so precisely and at the same time keep so much emotion in his playing. He obviously can play any style of music and even blend them together. As a collaborator, it's amazing with John. You're like, could you do this? And he's like, yeah. Hey, could you do like this? And he's fun and exciting to hang out with, whether his guitar playing as a writer and now on stage. It's literally like having your little brother right by your side. It is such a nice feeling. And I do agree with him. All things considered, if you're going to put anybody in Motley Crue, it's going to be John 5. How can it not be John 5? This guy, you couldn't design a person who's more fit to perform with Motley Crue. So it's a sad situation with Mick Mars. It's unfortunate. I think there's miscommunication there. And I think there's a huge misunderstanding of two different vantage points where Mick Mars, he really did make it clear in his position. They said he's not retiring. This is exactly what it said. This is the statement provided to Variety. Mick Mars, co-founder and lead guitarist of the heavy metal band Motley Crue for the past 41 years, has announced today that due to his ongoing painful struggle with ankylosing spondylitis, he will no longer be able to tour with the band. Mick will continue as a member of the band, but can no longer handle the rigors of the road. Mick will continue as a member of the band, as that points out in that message. So we'll have to see where this legal case goes. It probably won't be resolved for quite some time. And I also want to let you know, don't forget to enter our giveaway. One lucky winner and 3 of their friends will party in style in the VIP, winning 4 weekend VIP passes for Aftershock Festival. Check out this incredible lineup. Don't miss it, and enter to win at the link in the description.